This is our paranormal podcast because this is our paranormal community, and we want to support you here on RU Media Network. We are proud to be sponsored by the Haunted Hinsdale House in Hinsdale, New York. Here are your hosts, Brian Mersall and Shawn Gilmore.
Shawn, we lost your voice.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Is that better?
Yeah, it's better.
There we go. All right.
There you go.
There we go.
Man.
Crazy ghost, man.
Well, it's so my mic has like this mute button. Remember to unmute it because dude, this was my birthday present, man. Yeah. So when I go live on Spreaker, and so I have to mute my mic because StreamYard, they mute us, but StreamYard doesn't. So if I like make a noise or do something while the intro's going, they'll hear it on Spreaker, so I have to mute it, and I need to remember to unmute it during our intro. But either way, guys, welcome to Our Paranormal. Our Paranormal podcast. It's been a crazy week. But I'm glad to be back on today. It's already Wednesday. It's going super fast, which is a good thing. Man. So I hope you guys like that little quick flash of Josh Bender there. It's all about the power, suggestive. Yeah, Josh Bender. All right, sorry. So I could have changed the picture. It's weird. But guys, we have an awesome show today. We are going to introduce you guys. Maybe you've already heard of it. I don't know. But we're probably going to be introducing a lot of people to the Attic Junkie Paranormal Supplies. There it is. And that's Joshua Joyner, the mastermind behind the this new equipment that we're going to have to work with when we go out and investigate, which is awesome. And I mean, you guys have seen me talk about it. It's the Scare Bear. I talked about him on the show the past couple of weeks. He's going to the Hinsdale house with us, and he was there. He was at the Hinsdale house, and now we have his creator being reunited. Oh, you're reunited. He missed you. So sorry, I'm done being weird. So, but man, so like I love trigger objects. Everybody knows, like I talk about my paranormal pooch. He's the guy that's behind me over there, that stuffed dog. He's pretty much a really big version of this guy, right? It's a REM pod trigger object. I love it. It's because what we do is we try to gain any sort of interaction with spirit, and that spirit doesn't always know what a REM pod. I mean, imagine being from 1800s and someone's like, touch this, touch that gadget. Like, what is that? Like what is this thing? Like, this is scary, man. And then it makes lights and noises and stuff. Then you have a cute little teddy bear. Which one would you rather touch? I'm going after the teddy bear. I don't know about you. So that's why I love trigger objects. I'm always looking for new ones, man. And that's why I snatched this bad boy up when I saw it on that Facebook. I saw it in the marketplace, dude. Of all places. I love that Facebook marketplace. And I snatched this bad boy up. I'm going to be honest with you, man. We took him to the Hinsdale house. He didn't get any interaction. It's not his fault, though. All the interactions, I put him where I was there once before, and I got the biggest REM pod hit ever on the coffee table there. And that's where he sat the entire time. I didn't move him. He even sat there while we slept. And not once. But, to me, like Brian said, that adds to the validity.
Yeah.
I can't talk. It validates that this actually works. Because if we're just going off at nothing, then that makes you question it, right? So It's just better luck next time. It was actually a fairly quiet night for us there at the install house until like the end of the night, and then things got kind of like really weird. And but I definitely
that the Scare Bear was the only thing not waking me up. Thank you very much, Josh. Really appreciate that. I had everything under the sea screaming, and I was just glad that the Scare Bear right next to me was not going off. So thank you.
That would have, yeah, we had it like right, like legit, like right there. I kind of thought it would have been cool if we would have been woken up by this thing screaming at us. But I shouldn't say screaming, but
well, it shows some valid, it gives some validity to the actual REM pod itself. It stops false positives.
Yep.
I mean, it's meant for interaction, and if spirits are going to want to interact, they're going to mess with it. But you're not going to have these false, readings coming through, waking you up at, whatever, Sleeping Beauty goes to sleep. And, it's just, it's one of those products that I wanted to create for myself. And man, I was just like, I see the Boo Buddy and I hate that damn thing. I want to run over it with a bus and then back over it.
Dude, the first question I asked you, does this thing talk like the Boo Buddy? And you're like, hell no. I was like, thank God.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, first conversation we had, you were like, what do you think about the Boo Buddy? I'm like, oh, here we go. And then you were like,
I
don't like
wanted
it
to make
either.
sure
I'm like, oh, thank God.
I want to make sure that the thing wasn't going to start talking. Like the Boo Buddy, I get the idea. And the idea, it's a good idea. But the thing is that if you have other static cameras set up, you're going to make debunking miserable. Trust me, it makes it miserable. I come from a team that we set up multiple static cameras, and you have that Boo Buddy in one room, and then you go in the static camera down the hall, around the corner, down the stairs. It captures that freaking Boo Buddy, and it sounds like an EVP. You get all excited, you have an EVP. Nope, it's not an EVP. It's a stupid ass Boo Buddy. Oh, yeah, that's why I hate it. That's why I hate it, because it made debunking horrible. So. Sorry, that was my.
Well, I mean, it'd be a great product if you could actually just shut it the hell up, and let it do its thing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but I'm baffled. Why would a multi-million-dollar company not want to put a option for you to turn off the voice to where you want to use it as a REM pod, or it's got great function. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I love the technology behind it. Go Stop in Melbourne, Florida. They have some great designers, man. I mean, the thing changes with electromagnetic fields. I mean, it senses temperature change. It gets fluctuations when spirit passes by. But I mean, from what I've heard from everybody, man, you can't get a nice quiet investigation out of it and let it run and do its thing like Scare Bear, man.
Yeah. Count with me. 1. Oh, I can't. I'm sorry. I don't. I know some people really like it, and I should probably not bash it, but it really bothered me on when I was debunking it. When I was on Ectovision, like I was in charge of the debunking, and it just, I don't know. It just made it. I had to throw away too much stuff because of it, and it's heartbreaking when you have to throw it away. Even I mean, when you have contamination, what are you going to do? And that's what it did. It contaminated our investigation, and that's not what our.
Well, the whole idea behind it is to be able to put a recorder next to it, and as it detects all the fluctuations in temperature and electromagnetic fields, it's supposed to give out a question to receive a response. But I mean, spirits aren't on they're not on boo buddy time. They're going to talk when they want to talk.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have an EVP that comes through right before or during, you're not going to be able to hear it.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it works for some people's styles investigating. It doesn't work for mine. So I guess that's a better way to put it. Now I'm more about the stuff like this because it's about enticing the interaction. It's about making spirit want to interact with us one way or another. And if that's playing with a teddy bear or another toy, then awesome. Or even if it's, I mean, I've seen people turn so many different things into REM pods. I mean, you can like have like old cameras, anything. You can get ones that have like the pinchers, you know, and you can connect it to metal, and so you can like connect it to like any like a metal car or a metal bottle or something like that.
Really?
I've seen those. It's been a while since I've seen them, but I have seen them. So yeah, but that to me is a great idea. You can turn anything into a trigger object with that. So, but
so I guess, Josh, just to back up, if someone's never heard of you in the paranormal community, you know, they're buying RAM pods, they're buying SB7s, they stumble upon your name. I mean, how would you describe yourself? How'd you get into the field? Who are you? I mean, if someone just getting into the paranormal field,
Well,
how would you describe yourself?
you know, I've been in the paranormal field. I'm a part of a team here in Columbus, Georgia. I'm part of ByCityParanormal.com. You know, we're a group that helps people. We're not, you know, ghost hunters. We go out, you know, if somebody has a problem, we go out and we help people trying to debunk the situation. If and it's really serious, then we go out and, you know, we do the full scale investigation and try to figure out what's going on. If there's something, you know, metaphysical going on, or if there's something, you know, like the person's just on too many meds. But, you know, my background, I was an executive chef for 15 years. And, you know, as if somebody has read the bio, on Friday the 13th, 2019, I got in a huge accident. You know, I had one of the best jobs that I could ever ask for. I was surrounded by great people, and this young lady just pulled out right in front of me, bam, sideswiped her, and, you know, it debilitated me for almost, you know, close to a year. I was walking on crutches, I was walking on canes, and, you know, I just decided, I was like, you know, there's got to be something else. So they finally released me after that to go back to work, and I landed an amazing job here in Columbus, Georgia, to be an executive chef of a really, really nice club. And lo and behold, in October, I had a slip and fall accident. I fell coming out of the refrigerator. It was really, really wet. I slipped down, busted my head, had multiple lacerations on the back of my head, suffered a concussion, and re-damaged my back. And that was it. They told me, they were like, you know, you can't work in the kitchen anymore. They found it's a mass on the front temporal lobe of my brain that is from the car accident that nobody had found, except when they put me in the hospital for 4 days after the slip and fall. And they said, you know, with any aggravation, it can cause blackouts. And shortly after getting out of the hospital, I was experiencing blackout after blackout after blackout. And I was probably, you know, in and out of the hospital for a good 2 to 3 months. I mean, my family even bought me a life alert for me to wear. I have an amazing, you know, partner. She has always been by my side. you know, our first month of dating, you know, she was right there in the bed at the hospital right next to me, you know, and that just shows you, man. And she's a big part of this. She's given me the inspiration to do it all. And,
Mm-hmm.
you know, one day I was sitting home trying to recover with her, and I was like, all right, I want to build something. Let me build a REM pod, because, you know, we were going to go out to this place in Columbus, Georgia called Crybaby Bridge. It's an urban legend of where there was a young lady and a older gentleman. They had too many kids, and the lady had drowned their newborn. Well, you know, I had built the equipment to go out there, and, you know, the rest is history, man. And I started just building and seeing what I could create, because I looked at prices around the internet, man, and it's just, it's nuts. I mean, you know, I love the REM pod, you know, that Shawn was holding up, but I mean, it's $300 or $400.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I wanted to see what I could do to create my own product and use it for myself. And I started seeing results, and I just put it on eBay, and man, it just started flying out the door.
Nice. And speaking of eBay,
and then one day I was like, you know, yeah, there you go. Boom, number one right there.
Right there. And look how inexpensive that is. That's awesome. $26 for a REM pod. Essentially, it's a REM pod. It's
and then right underneath.
It's another one for $54. And then this is the Boo Bear, not Boo Bear. Sorry, Scare Bear too. Sorry, got Boo Bear in the mind. Oh, you got the balls. The flashing balls. That's awesome.
Hey, they ain't balls, dude. We got a new name for these. All right, they're called ghost nuts.
Nice.
They're not spirit balls anymore. They're ghost nuts. Yeah.
Ghost nuts. Nice.
So basically,
yeah, EM
you know,
pumps.
I have a
dude, $24 for an EM pump.
Everything.
$27 for an EM pump. That's inexpensive. Oh, you got a whole kit that you can put together. This is awesome. And I mean, guys, I mean, you want stuff. I mean, this Boo Bear, or I keep on calling it that. I'm sorry, this Scare Bear, it's freaking fantastic. And what's really nice about it is the size. Yeah, it's so easy. It fits in your case. It fits in your backpack. You don't have to worry about it. It's not bulky. It's easy to take around with you. So I'm enjoying it right now. I mean, I didn't have to think twice. Man, how am I going to fit this one into my investigation? You know, how am I going to fit that in my case? It's because we went on a 3-hour road trip. I'm not trying to take up a whole lot of trunk space or anything. So I brought, you know, limited supplies. So it's perfect. I mean, I don't know. I think this is awesome. And then, so this is what got you going and doing this was you took something horrible that happened to you and you're turning it into something really freaking cool, man. So good for you.
Yeah, man.
So just,
you know, it's just the empowerment. You know, I was tired of seeing people, you know, pay so much money, man, because, you know, I've had so many people message me and say, you don't know how much we appreciate your products because you're affordable and you put out a good quality product. Every product I make, besides, you know, the K2s and Ghost Nuts and the millimeters, everything I make is by hand. I mean, right here in this workshop. I mean,
nice.
And it gets crazy when you're 100 orders deep, man. And it's just me. And it's a one-man show. And but I only have my customers and my followers and you guys to thank for that. I mean, I wouldn't be where I'm at without, you know, people like you guys.
Oh man, I mean, this is what it's about, right? In the paranormal community, it's about taking things to the next step. It's about finding the new ways to investigate. And I always tell people you do not have to spend a lot of money on equipment. And Brian says the same thing. That it's so many people, you don't have to go out and buy the most expensive thing. Just find what works for you. And you definitely make it easier for having affordable prices for people to find what works for them. And speaking of, we at the very beginning of the show, we shared the link. Actually, Brian posted the link for your website, which looks awesome. But History and Headlines is not able to access your shop online. So is that fully functional yet?
So we're working on it. By the end of the week, the e-commerce portion of the shop will be fully functional. We're integrating all the algorithms and making sure we got optimization up to par. And then we're going to transfer everything slowly from every platform to the website, because that's the ultimate goal, is to get off of these big name platforms, man, and, you know, make a name for, you know, Addict Junkie Paranormal. And that's the way to do it, is to have your own website. You know, I'm gonna transition slowly, because everybody's not gonna know addictjunkieparanormal.com right off top, but you know, people will find me. You know, we put Jimmy Hoffa as one of our optimization keywords, so
nice.
we'll be able to.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So you know, it's going to be good, man. And I think it's going to be a really good start. And, you know, this is the only beginning. The business plan is starting to evolve a little bit more. I'm in talks with the city right now to maybe start doing some private tours, and also hopefully being able to start helping people as well. I'm working with a median right now. She's amazing. She can read mail you threw away 5 years ago, and she just blew me away first time I talked to her. So we're trying to team up, and we're talking, and we're trying to, you know, see if we can help people, just like my team does with people, you know, things. And she's also got her own little show going on Roku TV. It's called Spiritual Encounters. Her name's Jessica King. You can download it off of there. She's very gifted, so hopefully there'll be a future with her. And, you know, there's other things in the works too. You know, so I'm very excited about the future of the company, and I want to provide more to people than just products, you know. But all in all, customer service is my number one thing, man. I try to bend over backwards for everybody. And, you know, if something comes back messed up, I pay for it, bring it back, either give them a refund or just send them a brand new one. Or most of the times I'll let them keep whatever I sent and send them a whole new one out of my own cost. You know, it's just that I think that's what draws people to me, man. It's just the customer service. And I think that has a part of me being a chef for so long, is dealing with customers and knowing how to deal with people. You know, you got to understand what they want. You know, they want quality, and they want, you know, to be treated how you want to be treated. And I think that's the steps to create a successful business, you know. So I'm trying, man. I'm working hard, and, you know, like I said, it's credit. It's not me that's doing it. It's everybody else. I mean, I got 150 followers that just came out of nowhere on my Facebook page, man. And I'm astounded. You know?
It's awesome, man. It's awesome. I hope you keep on growing, you know, because I mean, here's a picture of all the current products. So you've got the Scare Bear, and you've got the REM Pods, you got the Ghost Nuts. What is that other piece? I didn't see that on eBay. There's that square piece that's
which one?
The gray one in the very front. It looks like it's gray with
bottom left,
white buttons. Yeah.
Oh, so you talking about the front left?
Yeah. Yeah. I wish
all right. So that is the That is my hacked radio. So
Oh, okay.
that radio is my version of the SB7.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
So I go
Is that going to be
in,
available?
I modify it, and it's just constantly sweeping stations from 600 gigahertz, or excuse me, 600 megahertz all the way to 1700, and it just doesn't stop. And the best part about it is, people say that they want the static sound, but in my experience and the testimonials of customers I've had from, a certain point from like 600 to about, 1300 megahertz, we have a silence period of where it sweeps. And if you can get something through there, then you're dealing with nothing but something spiritual.
See, that's kind of like where I'm at. Like, I like to hear the sweeps because I want to hear if there's a radio station coming on, and I want to be able to tell if what I'm hearing is a radio station or if it's actual spirit. That's one of the hardest times I have with spirit. I'm kind of still new to using the ITC devices, and what got me to doing it was when I got interaction or I got a voice. I was in the middle of the desert in Arizona at a Vulture City, and my little hack radio, I got get out clear as day. There's no radio reception. There's no way that was a radio because there wasn't any reception. So I don't know. I want to be able to tell what I'm hearing. So I don't know. The filters are really cool, right? They sound cool. They sound creepy. They add into the feeling, right? And adding to that feeling probably helps you get more connected with spirit. But when you look at it from the scientific aspect, I want to be able to tell if what I'm hearing is radio or if it's coming from spirit. So I don't know, but I'm not a real big ITC expert. I'm not a good like guy to come to when say, hey, I got this new ITC device. I'll be like, hey, cool, that's awesome. That's the most I can do. I don't know much about it because that's me. I'm old school when it comes to that kind of stuff. I don't know. I'm more about the EVPs and the trigger objects.
Yeah, I'm the same way, but I got tired. I have the S box. I love it, but it's so hard to distinguish sometimes unless you put it on your computer and you're listening to it that way, and you're able to see the wavelengths of the sweeps. But that area of silence that is constantly sweeping stations, if you get a voice coming through that, then you have something. And it also, our regular stations that we have here in the U.S., anywhere from like 800 to 1600, is all just regular music stations, and it sweeps really fast right through them. And so it's kind of a 2-in-1. You have the area of silence, and then you have what a regular SB7 does.
Can you control the speed in which it flips through the channels on yours?
So that's something I'm working on, is controlling the speed. A lot of people were trying to mess with the controls, and I had some problems. So I locked the control functions. And what it does is you can plug in earphones, and it does a really nice steady speed where it's probably, sweeping channels at around, 3 to 4 seconds intervals. And then once you plug in a speaker, it starts going really quick. So you're going from, like I said, the 600 to 18 real quick. And, you can control the volume on there, and it's really nice. You don't have to worry about it. It works the same way with my other devices and has a switch on the back. So it's powered by a bigger battery, so you're not losing life on just 2 AA's. You can use it as long as you want, or just have it somewhere sitting and just listen, you know?
Yeah. A lot of people are doing the why can't I think of what it's called, Brian? Where put on the noise cancellation
Spirit
headphones. And
portals.
yeah. So you get blindfolded and you have the
sensory deprivation jazz.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they have the ITC playing, and then they call out what they're hearing, or they'll just have the white noise, and if spirit comes through that way. So that to me, though, I mean, if somebody, like, let's say Brian is like asking questions, I can't hear the questions that he's asking, and I have the spirit box going off in my ears, and I'm calling out the words that I'm hearing. And if they're answering Brian's questions, that's pretty cool. I think I don't know.
Yeah. I love it. I just got introduced to that probably about 2 weeks ago. I have a place that's very near and dear to my heart. It's called South Pittsburgh Paranormal Research Center. It's an old hospital, and a very, very special gentleman bought the hospital. He's done an amazing job in refurbishing it, and he does private tours. He does events, and just about 2 weeks ago, he invited us out to set up some of our equipment. And there were some special guests. We had the A&E Ghost Hunters. We had Rochelle, we had Mike, and we had Mustafa Galatori.
Nice.
And we got to investigate with them, and it was really, really cool, man. We had a great time, and they did the ITC with the canceling headphones, and they were in a separate room, and I was just yelling out everything I heard.
Mm-hmm.
And when I had stopped, they were like, there was a lot of questions that were answered, and I've never done that before, and it was pretty cool, to see the different ways, stuff that I've never even, been able to see, like the human pendulum. I don't know if you guys have ever experienced or seen it, but I was a part of the circle, basically, yeah, it's called a human pendulum. And basically, you set up a group of people in a circle, and one person is the main focus for the spirit to be able to interact. So it works just like a regular pendulum does. So a group of people around you are surrounded, and the spirit can manipulate you by going back and forth, and you ask questions, and it was pretty amazing, man. We had two different people that did it. One was a young lady, and then the other guy was a very experienced paranormal investigator. And he said that he felt like he was being softly manipulated to answer the questions, and it was one of the most interesting things I've ever seen. But it was so simplistic, but yet so relevant.
Yeah. I don't know, like, if you had a plan to dive into all this equipment just like based on your eBay page, but I would love to go through that with you either now or later in the podcast. I didn't know, like, if you wanted to go through all the different.
Let's go.
Well, real quick though, let us know when you're ready to do you had an unveiling that we're going to do on the show. We're excited for this unveiling.
Oh yeah, let's save that for last.
Save
that for last.
Good idea, guys. You heard that. We're unveiling a new piece of equipment, guys, so you got to stay tuned to see what this is going to be. It's really cool.
All right. Let me go ahead and share my screen. This one. Click. Oh, I can just do window? Let's go. All right, right here. All right. So we're here, right?
Yep.
Okay. So, and I don't know if you ever thought, this might be curious, because you can imagine in your head, so many people check out this page, but you really don't know their story. And sometimes you probably wish you were there right alongside them as they were scrolling down your page to answer questions, know more about their group so you can make recommendations, right? It's kind of interesting. All right, so our group is Your Paranormal. We've been around close to 2 years, and typically we roll with teams of size of 10, and we typically break off into 2 teams of 5. Okay, so of course we have a lot more members, but in a perfect world, it'd be a big enough location where we could bring 10 people, break off into 2 teams. So equipment duplication would be beneficial, as well as, for example, having multiple red pods per team could, add to the experience, because at the end of the day, it's all about our members. So that's a little bit about us before we start perusing.
Okay.
I also love the bio here. So let's talk about these 15 out of 15 results. Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
Or do you want to just focus on
minus
okay.
the Nancy Reagan and all that? That's different. That's not paranormal.
Okay, so this. Okay, I thought it was a trigger object. All right. So first off, we're starting here with the ghost hunting equipment, REM pod, EMF detector, REM LEDs, paranormal investigations. So it's $26.99. Tell me a little bit about this compared to a REM pod. Like when I look at the REM pod, it's like $199 on Amazon or some whatever. What's the difference between this and a REM pod?
Right. So this unit is very compact, and that's what I love about it. Like Shawn was saying, you don't want to carry a bunch of stuff, and a REM pod like this big compared to, a couple like 5 or 6 inches by 3 or 4 inches with a nice retractable antenna is, very, very convenient for people, and it's at a right price point, man. That is my number one mission statement. Is I'm always going to stick by it. Is I'm going to provide the lowest price I can. I'm going to source whatever I can to try to make the product as good and as cost affordable and, perform the best that I can possibly do. And the REM pod is basically, it's a common design. A lot of people use this. They use this this device. It produces that same electromagnetic field that the same REM pod does, but and to me, I do modifications to where it's a lot more sensitive.
Gotcha.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
Can you click on that and so people can get a better picture of what it looks like?
Yep.
There we go.
And it's super sensitive, man. It's ridiculous.
Okay, so it lights up, makes the sounds. I like that. What kind of batteries does it take?
It takes one single 9-volt battery, and the runtime is probably. I mean, you can get 2 days off of a 9-volt battery on it.
Okay, I like it. So, when I compare this to a REM pod that I find on Amazon, because it might run you $199. Let's just say $200. You can get 7.4 of these, rounded down. You save money and you can buy 7 of these. So, like if you're at a haunted location, you can cover doorways, you can cover different hot spots. So when you're doing a giant EVP session in a large room, you can see, maybe where it's at, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's worked for me, and I've had great results with it. And I love the design. I love making them. All the different, I can do different colors. It's just blue's my most popular, and I've just rolled with it, and it's, to me, it's just, I love the simplicity of it, and I love how sensitive it is, you know, because some spirits don't want to walk up and grab an antenna. They want to cruise by and just check it out, and it's going to pick it up. I mean, this thing probably has a radius of about maybe 1 to 1.5 foot, you know, so if you walk by and you're going to false trigger it, but if nobody's around, then, and you hear it go off, there's no other explanation. It's not going to give you false readings at all.
So if we already have a REM pod and we're going to run 2 teams and maybe we want just 2 per team, I'm going to need about 3 of these, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take 3. So what's this? This is the ghost hunting equipment, new REM pod EMF detector. So what's the difference between this and this?
So this one is meant to be a larger unit with more visibility. It's got an additional feature built in to where it's lightweight. It weighs under 7 ounces.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, I don't know if you guys can see it, but I mean, it just runs really, really well. Hold on, you guys can't see it.
So I see that it's got the different colors. Do the different colors mean anything?
So no, it does not. Basically, this is a bigger version of the smaller REM pod. So the other one is what I call the V1 Mini. That was my first model, you know, but some people like the traditional kind of REM pod. So this is my, you know, affordable, you know, REM pod that does the same thing as the smaller one, but it's got more sensitivity to it. And, you know, of course, more visibility because of the different colors. And it's not as ear piercing as the other one.
Mm-hmm.
It's still smaller than this, though.
So these are very effective. I've had great results with these. You know, the antenna, you know, is retractable. It can go any way you want. You know, put it outside, lay it flat. Yeah, I mean, it's just a great little piece of equipment, dude. And you know, for $54, I mean, I challenge anybody to find something like that.
So,
Okay.
Right? Have you ever tried like getting like 8 to 10 of them and put them in a circle and like sat in a circle around them? Or
I have.
Like, yeah. That's. I mean,
so
honestly,
when we were,
with the cost of yours, you can actually afford to do an experiment like that. So now it's like this, like gets you thinking. It's like, oh, hey, I can afford to buy, you know, 4 now and maybe 4 next, you know, in a couple months. And the next thing I know, I've got 8 and I can do that. It's not.
Yeah, I mean, we've done a couple different experiments. We haven't put like 8 to 10 in a row, but I like that. And, you know, on our next outing, I might give that a try. But, you know, I think you would definitely have to spread them out. And a large room would be nice to where you know you're going to have some activity. And I think you would see some interesting results.
Okay. Nice. So this is like a mini REM pod. This is a regular REM pod. Tell me about these ghost nuts, the 1530. Okay.
So I have gotten bashed for these. Okay. And I'm going to address Facebook right now because I have people that run over me all day long saying they're just cat toys. Okay. Now, you know, granted, yeah, they're cat toys. And just in reference, you know, when I was at the hospital doing the special event with the A&E Ghost Hunters, Mustafa Galtori was sitting in the room with us, and there is a bedroom with a spirit. She's an older lady, and she loves to interact with these balls. And, you know, they are very reliable. You know, it was sitting completely still, and we would ask her to light it up, and boom, you know, there it went. And to me, you know, if you could set up 2 or 3, and that gives you, you know, more of more evidence, you know. I mean, what's the chances of all 3 of them going off to give you a false positive, rather than, you know, 1 or 2 to say, okay, well, then there's definitely something going on here. And you're getting 4 of those for the $15 and some cents. Now, if you look on, I fell for this when I first started going into the paranormal field. I bought one for $10 on Etsy.
Yeah.
One single one for $10. And I still have them.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I was like, there's got to be a different avenue. There's no way these things are $10 a piece. So I started doing my homework, and I found a very reliable source that these things are solid. The battery life lasts a long time, and I dare anybody to try to find the price that I have on here for those 4 for $15.30 right now, especially with the sale going on, because on Amazon you're getting 2 for almost $10.
Yeah.
I mean, they run about $4 or $5 a piece at PetSmart. I mean, and I love using them. They're fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So what kind of batteries do they take?
So these are not, you're not able to replace the batteries in these, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes with any of these that you get from anywhere. I mean, they have a upgraded unit for like probably about $20 that they sell at PetSmart that you are able to replace the batteries. But these run on 3 of the really tall, tiny cell batteries that are located at the bottom. But I mean, for the price point, man, and for what everybody else sells them for, I mean, it's a fantastic product. I test out every one myself to make sure that they light up as soon as you click it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I do the field test to where it stops, and before I package it, I make sure it's going to light up, every single one of them. So every one you see packaged up in a sandwich baggie, someone called it. No, it's not a sandwich baggie. It's from Uline. They're all tested and they're ready to go as soon as you're open to do an investigation with them.
Okay, and what kind of batteries do those mini REM pods take again?
So the mini REM pods take 9 volt. The bigger ones take 9 volt as well.
Okay. So what's this ghost hunting equipment new static detector positive negative LED paranormal?
So that one is similar to this one right here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can see, but the red light is on this one right now. And this one picks up static charges. So basically, let me see if I can.
So this is like what Paranormal.
So basically, you see the red light. Yeah, so you see the light on right now. And let's see if I can find. So you see how it turns off and on? Just by the static of me rubbing my hair. And then it's off. And then it's on.
Yeah. Okay.
So to pick up, static, that's supposed to be a manifestation, when we have spirits running around. And also, this is a static duo. It also acts as a REM pod. So you can have both functions going at the same time. The bigger unit, I do not have one made right now, but that one picks up positive and negative static charges. So the green is your positive, your red is your negative charges.
Nice. Okay. And that's actually they're really interesting when you have the more well-known equipment that people use is the periscope by Paranologies. And
right.
I had to go and compare it, and yours is less expensive. And yours, like the Paranologies periscope, it's either a 360 or it does like a half moon. And the colors, they show kind of more where it's getting the detection from. It doesn't tell you if it's positive or negative. So that's really that's really neat that yours does that. And guys, it's less expensive, so that's definitely something to add to your collection there.
And again, that is my first self-contained unit. Everything is located inside, so when you want to replace the battery, take out the screws. It runs on 9 volt with the flick of a switch. The white light is the indicator of the power, and it'll dim once the battery starts to run low on juice. So that's
nice.
A little power indicator. And the 2 antennas, of course, give the positive and negative detection. And it's got a little toggle switch on the side that you flip for easy convenience,
Now, real quick, what's the difference between this device and the REM pod?
So, what, the static duo or the one with the 3 lights?
I thought we were looking at the static detector, right?
Okay, so the static detector is not a REM pod. That is strictly to detect E-static fields, just like a V-scope. Sometimes both lights will be off, or you'll see a fluctuation of it going from green to red, or just staying red and dimming in and out of experiences I've had on investigations with it. I mean, sometimes it just stays off, period, and the only thing you'll see is the white light. I mean, it's very, very sensitive. As you can see, I was holding it and brushing my hair back here, and the light was going off and on as I went closer and backwards and forward. I mean, I love it. It's a great piece of technology. I mean, it runs off of 2 little microprocessors that are very accurate, very sensitive. And I've added the 2 antennas, which you don't need to add, but that gives it just even more sensitivity to it.
What I like about this is that when people with REM pods read EMFs, okay, you're reading off of one type of energy. What their spirit can be detected off of more than one type of energy. One spirit might give you one energy, and another might give you another. Or one time, the same spirit might. Who knows? We don't know how this works. It might be easier at one point for the spirit to set off static electricity than it is for EMF. We don't know exactly how it works. That's why it's good to have more than one type of detection unit, more than just EMFs, because if you're limiting yourself to just EMFs, you're missing out on some really good opportunity.
This kit you have here, how'd you put this kit together?
So this is a taste of what's to come. Okay. We're partnering with DOS Industries. I don't know if anybody is familiar with Gary Gulka. He's a very big paranormal. He invented the Melmeter. He is he's one of the creators of the SB7 and the SB11 and the new DOS Industries. I don't know, everybody's seen it on Ghost Adventures. It's kind of a spirit portal, but you're allowed to see the wavelengths of the spirit speaking through the device. So we're partnering up with them. I'm in talks with them right now, and we're going to start carrying their products. We're going to have SB7s. We're going to have SB11s. We're going to have the Mel meters. We're going to have the regular Mel REM ATDDs, and we're going to have the Mel REM ATD shadow detectors as well. And,
Nice.
we got the thermal guns for people that like to use those. We got K2s, and then, of course, your basic REM pod. And, everybody do the math at home. Go look up every one of these pieces of equipment and see if you can get it for that price.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's awesome.
Because when you get a Mel meter right there, that's just a regular one that detects milligauss. It's going to run you about $100 straight up.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that alone, you're right, is $100.
We're in talks. Yep, and we're in talks with them. You might be able to find it for a little less used, but we're in talks with them, and hopefully everything goes right, and we'll be able to start carrying Gary's products. Man, I'm a huge fan of his mission. I mean, they were featured on Ghost Adventures for the first time. His daughter was involved in a huge tragic accident, and that was kind of his inspiration to start creating a lot of this stuff. So, and I think he's brilliant. I mean, his stuff is amazing. I mean, we wouldn't be where we are today without Gary Golka, man. I mean, the SB7 wouldn't be here. Mel meters wouldn't be here. I mean, so I'm very excited for the future to be able to hold some of his products on the website.
Very cool.
That's awesome. You are integrating your own product and bringing in some more products, so it'll bring you more business. That's really smart, man.
We'll continue to,
and everybody wants the normal stuff, man. I mean, we're gonna slowly but surely branch out. DOS Industries is just the first, man. We're gonna branch out. We're gonna have the IR lights. We're gonna have cameras. We're gonna have different motion detectors. But it's just one step at a time, man. One of my mottos is, first you're able to make it, and then master it, and then you provide it. So I want to start with the basic first, and then be able to branch out into the different paranormal items.
Definitely. And then you can start making your own, and then take it, you can start doing, and creating your own devices and creating your own different meters and stuff. That'll be possibilities are endless with what you're doing. It's awesome.
So this is just a normal K2, right?
Correct. Yeah.
And
that's the normal K2, and then right next to it is the it's just a reference to show how the K2 operates. Right next to an EM pump, showing how many milligausses the EM pump's putting off right next to it. So, people can see the operation of it.
And then
$26, yeah, you can get them cheaper, but I got some really good reviews on mine. I found a really good distributor. She's amazing, and she has always these in stock, and I sell them like hotcakes. People love them. They're very accurate. I use it myself.
What do people use EM pumps for?
And that's one of the. So the EM pumps are, as everybody knows, they produce an electromagnetic field, and basically it's tackling fuel for spirits to help give them the energy to be able to do, mess with trigger objects or to manifest or to help them do EVPs. So a lot of people use them. Some people don't.
What's this?
Oh, so those are, just a little side business that I have. Those are very expensive. I encourage people to make their own equipment. If you think you're up to making it. So slowly I'm going to start integrating some pieces of equipment that cost a lot of money here in the States. But just a retractable 5-section. It's just basically what I have here. It's a 5-section antenna.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get it for any. I mean, I've seen them for $10.35 a piece, all the way from 2 for $10. So it's just it's encouraging people, and eventually once I get a steady stream, I'm gonna start putting on DIY kits. Let people mess around with their own.
Nice.
That's
a great idea, and then you could teach people how to make their own trigger objects, and they can use your innards. I don't know what to call it. Your guts.
Yeah.
And so this was what you were talking about, where it's the REM pod plus the static detector, right?
Yeah, that's the one that we were just playing with, the REM pod static duo right here. You can have both functions on, or you can run one function. I always tell people to take the 9 volts out of these when they're not in use. Every package that I send out always has instructions with it on how to care for it, how to use it. So this is, I didn't want to include another switch on this, so I wanted to be able to turn off the REM pod. So basically, to turn this one off, you're going to have to take the battery out.
Gotcha.
But the great thing about this is, if you're filming and you want to leave just the static meter on, it's not going to eat up energy, and it's not going to wake you up with an ear-piercing sound. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. This is.
So that is your traditional REM pod. Shawn, will you hold up the one that you got?
This guy?
Yeah, will you show them how that works?
I mean, well, I'm holding it, so it's going to keep on going off, but the idea...
Exactly.
Well, it'll zero out. Hold on. There it is. So the antenna, you break the EMF field, and it sets off the noise, and there's pretty colors.
Exactly.
Pretty lights, right? This is your basic REM pod. This is actually a really old version of a REM pod. The newer ones now have the options and buttons on the tops. This one is the old one. This one just has the this is just the basic old style.
This one right here, it may look different, but this is the same exact function as a REM pod that Shawn was just holding. Basically, and it's just the same thing that big one does. Basically, it's got range.
That's a big antenna, man.
Just like yours. Yeah.
Nice.
It'll zero out, and then You can see how far my hand is, and we're getting interaction. So
like
that
it.
one is just, you know, my take on on the bigger REM pods, and you know, it takes a lot more to put one of those together. So you get a price point of $79. You know, I think that's a fair price. I mean, it might be the exact same look as the other ones, but the function is completely different.
What's the difference between this one and the first one we looked at?
Basically, you know, just different color. And
Gotcha.
the lights cost me a little bit more on the green ones.
Okay.
Blue's your like standard color. It runs about 1.5 to 3 volts. And then your green runs about a standard 3 volt. So it's a little bit more expensive on the material side on my end. So it's just, you know, a couple dollars more. You know, if people want a different color, you know, I'm open to it.
So this one
Same
is the same
function.
thing as the other one, as the $27 one, except it's green. Right?
Yep.
Okay. Ironically, the colors.
What was that?
You do purple?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I can do rainbow colors if you want.
Nice.
That'd be cool. Yeah, ironically, your Paranormal's colors are blue and green, so I'm gonna have to get a mixture of those when I get the 3 of them, like I was talking about.
Yeah, I got a purple one for our Paranormal.
Yeah, that'd be sick. Hey,
represent.
Actually, you know, I got if I can find it here in the dark, but you know, there's orange. You know, I mean, I make all different colors. I made a purple one for a customer.
Woo.
That's cool.
Nice.
Now, this is one of my favorites right here.
Okay.
So this is one of my first creations. It is a geophone without the you know, the whole lighting effect that you see on normal standard geophones. This one is a vibration alarm. It is super sensitive. I just got rid of my last one. I wish I had one to show everyone. So basically, this one turns on. Same. It's got the same design. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I have one here. Right. What is the difference?
Oh, there you go.
Again, this. Yep. This is a geophone, so you can see.
So does
and I can change the sensitivity on this.
So do you have? Okay. So do you have any noise on that one?
No noise. This one's just strictly lights.
So that's the difference between mine and that one. I don't have lights. I'm working on integrating. I just found a really good supplier that I'll be able to put some lights on that. So the blue light you see on there is the power. Okay.
Okay.
So it takes 2 AA batteries. You turn on the side switch, which is located basically where every other one is on the side right here. You have a 5-second alarm that beeps. It goes beep, 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 and then it stops. With any of the lightest taps, I mean, like you drop a dime on a table, the thing alarms. It sends out a nice alarm. So for me, it's good on catching like shadow steps or, you know, unexplained footsteps in hallways.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes off for about 25 seconds and then it does a silent reset. So it's ready to go again after it picks up on any manifestation or false trigger or whatever. That's one of my favorite products. It's in my bag, you know.
Nice.
Okay. And then we've got there's a Scare Bear, which is like a REM pod, but it's got the bear in it.
We got the Scare Bear.
Yep.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
what's the difference? What's the difference between this one and the other guy, the number 2 guy, the furry guy?
So the
Remember
number
when
2 is just, so this guy is, it's a funny story. So this bear comes from a company called Hugaboo, and it is a child's Band-Aid based on animal themes. So where it says need a hug, that comes from Hugaboo. So I was like, that's perfect for children, and spirits, and it's a perfect trigger object and REM pod.
Yeah.
So, the other one is just a smaller version that is easier. So this one is more intricate to put together, but the other one is a little bit more affordable, and it takes less time for me to do it. And I decided I wanted to have a lower price bear on eBay for people that don't want to spend the $60 on the Scare Bear. They can get the other one. He works the exact same way. He's got one less light. His stomach lights up. I don't know if you can throw me on full screen real quick.
Oh.
So he is, it's kind of hard to see, but he lights up just with basic, and it's kind of hard to see the contrast. But if you look at the pictures on the listing for the version, I had completely wiped out the Hugaboo in the United States, and I was like, what am I going to do? So I decided just to create a cheaper version that, I threw out there one day, and people just started eating it up, man. They love them. Yeah, and he's almost up there with Scare Bear, man. The sales are incredible.
That's awesome.
And he looks fantastic at night.
Perfect. So it's basically the REM pod technology, but inside of a bear to be like a trigger object as well.
Yeah, and at a lower price point than the OG Scare Bear.
And lastly, got this new perfected EM pump version 3 EMF pump, quiet output, ghost hunting equipment.
Okay, so I ain't gonna lie, I had some trouble with creating a really, really good EM pump. As everybody knows, the EM pumps are either ran by a motor or their operational is different. And they're usually powered by a high power magnet that spins inside of the unit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was having trouble, finding a unit DC motor that was able to spin at a low frequency and being able to be powered by just 2 AA batteries. Well, I stumbled across a fantastic motor, and I have really, really strong pneumatic magnets put in it. And basically, when you turn it on, it's almost like it's not even on. You can't hear it. You put it in the palm of your hand is the only way you could tell it's on, besides the blue light. And when I compared it to one that I have from another seller on eBay, and put my K2s next to each other, mine was just putting out some crazy readings from further back than my competitor. So this is my last one. It's perfected. And I know I've had some returns, and I've, tried to help people understand, my first one would vibrate across the floor and fly into the next room. And then I came out with the second one that did a little bit better. I had feet on it, but it was still really loud. So this one, it's so quiet. Like I said, you don't even know it's on.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it puts out a really high output. And like we were talking about earlier, EM pumps are fuel for EM pumps are fuel for spirits that we believe it helps give them energy. As we say, they can use our energy, or if we have a mysterious, I don't know, I'm sure everybody in the paranormal field has had the times where your battery just goes dead out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And to me, that's just a spirit using the energy it can to manifest itself.
Yeah.
It's definitely a strong theory that's out there for sure.
So, okay. So if we want to get 3 mini REM pods, 2 blue, 1 green, the new Scare Bear, and the Ghost Nuts, what's the best way to submit the order? Obviously, cash is king, but what's the best way that doesn't get hit with like fees on your end?
So, like I said, the launch of the website later this week will be the best way to go.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we can do a preview of the new website. If anybody, Shawn, is that possible?
Yeah, we can do that. Actually,
yeah, let's put it up there. I don't know. I've put it on Facebook.
I had it up.
I don't know if everybody's seen it yet.
Yeah, I'll get it. Hold on. Hold on to your love. All right.
And also, I'll be able to explain a little bit of the customer service end on that as well.
Cool.
What is this? Hold on.
But I'll on my end, I'll message you what we want, and then
so
just
for
let me know
you,
if it's PayPal or whatever. Yeah, we'll work it out. All right.
Yeah, so eBay has actually completely redone their whole system, so where it's actually cheaper for buyers and sellers. So buyers are having less of a fee because everything's going through eBay now. They're integrating the system that Macari and Etsy uses. So on the seller's end, everything comes straight through eBay. Our payments are processed through eBay. Our payouts are processed through eBay. Our postage, and it just makes a whole different experience for I've been using eBay for almost close to 10 years now, and the way it used to be, you have your selling fees, they'd accrue throughout the whole month, and if you did a really big month, you owed a really big chunk of change at the end of the month. But now they're taking out of every transaction, and it makes it a lot easier for the sellers and the buyers. So this is the new website that's going up. We're working on everything. We have the shop now. You got the gallery, which is going to be, we're working on putting together a bunch of footage that I have, a bunch of EVPs, and a bunch of trial and errors with the equipment that I have. Videos, we're going to be starting a YouTube channel next week. And the shop now is going to be active, and it's going to provide me the chance to even lower the cost of the existing prices that are on eBay because I'm not paying selling fees.
Okay.
So as you see, the REM pod that was the version 1, the mini REM pod, I'm gonna drop that price $3 because it's not gonna cost me $3 in eBay final value fees to sell it. So, here we have my bio, which is basically the same thing that's on eBay, and then the customer service end. I know when somebody's on my website, and if anybody has any questions, there's a contact me now. It goes straight to my phone, and I'm able to answer any questions just like
That's
that.
nice.
And that's a security precaution that automatically weeds out spam. So, and it also provides security for you guys. So that'll add you to a mailing list, and with that mailing list, I'll be sending out, updates on equipment. I'll be sending out coupons. I'll be sending out events that are going to be happening in the future. So it's going to be a really, really good experience transitioning from, Etsy, eBay, Macari, and then just slowly integrating the Attic
Yes.
Junkie just on straight e-commerce, man. I think it's going to be great. We're going to get rid of the and supplies, and it's going to be Attic Junkie, Paranormal. And hopefully in the future we can start doing some more cool things,
Haha, you heard the message I sent. It's just that fast. That's cool.
I got it.
I will be right back, and then we can jump into the Abyss section. Okay.
I've been wondering, man. I'm like,
I know I want you. I want to support Josh. I want to go through the stuff.
I know.
I'm getting a lot of stuff. Okay. I'm sorry, but I'll be right back, and then we'll jump right into it. All right.
Awesome.
Awesome. So, man. So, how long have you been making this equipment? I know we've touched about how you kind of got started and everything. How long have you now been creating your equipment?
So to be honest, I've only been creating since the eBay Paranormal account was opened up January 14th.
Nice.
And I had a crash course in learning electronics. I mean, because I'm a chef, man, and going from that to learning how to solder, how to put together electronics efficiently and reliably, there was a lot of trial and errors. Soldering's probably one of the most difficult things for me to learn, but once I mastered it, it's just I can blow through this stuff in no time. But the biggest challenge for me was learning how all this stuff works. I mean, it was a healing curve because I had to figure out something, man. I got a beautiful daughter. She's turning 7 years old, and there's got to support. And with me losing my job, I'm still going through physical therapy. I'm still going through, the whole ordeal with both of my accidents. And, there was a need for some extra income, and a hobby just to bring a little bit of pocket change turned into a full-scale business, man.
That's awesome.
I can't express how blessed I am, and it's only because of the support of everybody like Shawn and Dave Cummings, and I have a couple other followers that are just diehards, and they've been with me from the beginning, and they'll be with me to the end. I just can't thank everybody enough for what they've done. And for people that have never seen me or, have looked at my products, I just, it's a passion, because I'm struggling, I was struggling, I didn't have a source of
Yeah.
income, and I wanted to go exploring, I wanted to dabble into the, ghost hunting. I've always wanted to do it. And I just started creating my own equipment. And I'm like, why am I paying $10 for a ghost ball? Or why am I paying, 50, $60 for a REM pod when I can build one and give it to everybody for under 60 and $30? And those savings, like I said, they're going to go even lower once the website's up.
Nice. That's awesome, man. I hope that this continues to grow for you. The community needs more of this. What you're doing, I mean, you're like I said earlier, you took something horrible and you're turning it into something great, and you're turning it into a way to provide from your family. I'm a family man myself. I understand that need. I know what it's like. I've had back surgery, and it changes you. And when you lose your ability to do something, it gets to you. It gets to you, man. I know that. So I know now you finding this new path, a new way for you to support your family, but you're also bringing something to the community. You are making and building your own product. You're making it affordable so that it's also unselfish of you, right? It's so what you're doing is great, man. I love that you're doing it to help your family, to support your family, but you're also being very unselfish about it and keeping your prices to where it's affordable, so anybody can investigate the paranormal. When you go to a location and investigate, you're looking at, just to get into a location, you're looking at probably about $50 a person, right? If you divide it up, usually it ends up being pretty close to that. Sometimes more.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be more than that. That's a lot of money, man. And so then you have the expensive equipment on top of it. And so you have this equipment out that you're creating now that's affordable. What you're doing is awesome, man. I love it. And it's, I mean, I've tested the Boo Bear. Oh my God, the Scare Bear. We talked about the Boo Bear, and now it's like stuck in
Get it right, dude.
noggin, dude. The Scare Bear, much better than the Boo Bear, in my opinion. Just because the Boo Bear doesn't fit. I need to be clear, guy. I'm never going to put down any way anyone investigates. You connect the spirit in one way, that's awesome, man. If it doesn't work for me, that's cool. It doesn't have to. But this I've tested it. I tested it before I went to the Hinsdale house. It works. It's a great product. Guys, you go into a place, there's going to be it could be any age child. It could be a teenager all the way younger. And you know what? Everybody loves a teddy bear. Even if it's I go to my grandmother's retirement community. You know how many people have teddy bears in their little homes? Almost everybody has at least one teddy bear. It's just an all around great thing. Everybody loves a teddy bear, right? So I'm all about it.
Yeah,
man.
and this is I hope to bring this to another application too, because my family is involved in an autistic foundation, and I think this has an application for autistic kids. They love to mess around with things. Actually, my daughter's cousin, he's autistic, and he loves to play with electronics, and he loves to dabble in any type of thing that he can get his hands on. He loves to play with. So I think this has not only for the paranormal field, but I'd like to be able to help provide some relief for autistic kids. And I think it may have an application, it may not. Some autistic people are different than others. They think that people have to have stuff straight in lines and all that. That's not all autistic kids. You know, some autistic kids just like playing with things and experimenting because they're all different from each other. And I hope, you know, with this, you know, I can. I've sent a couple to my aunt. She is a director of a really big autistic foundation in Jacksonville, Florida, and I've had really, really good response from her. And she's not too fond of the paranormal field, but she likes the application of the bear with the kids. So that's one aspect, you know. So I just hope that I can make a difference, man. And, you know, whether it be giving it to autistic kids or providing a low price for people, you know, I'm just trying to do my part and, you know, also make a living for myself, you know, but it's like I said, it's not possible without the support of, you know, my family, my girlfriend, and you guys and everybody watching right now, you know. And I hope that everybody that sees this, you know, sees how sincere I am, and, you know, everything's built by my hands, you know, and if something goes wrong, I'm going to do my best to fix it. You know, I'm not perfect. Some things that people get may have an operational error that was, you know, on my behalf, but I'm going to make sure that it's right. You know, like I said, treating people the way you want to be treated it goes in any business.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that goes with anything. I mean, when you have anything, I mean, anything can go wrong with anything. So, but you back your product, and that's what matters. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
But it goes even further to backing the product. It goes to supporting the community. It goes to doing the important things. And right now, Josh, there's nothing more important than you jumping right into the abyss, the section of the podcast where we do 13 fast fire questions. Josh, we need you to answer these questions as thoroughly and as quickly as possible, my friend.
All right. Well, this was a kind of a surprise, but let's do it.
All right. Yeah. Hey, I'm going to give you number 1 and number 13 as a reference point, but we're going to jump right into it, my friend. You ready?
Let's go.
Let's do it. Number 1.
All eyes on you, brother.
What is a key element that's necessary in all pieces of paranormal equipment?
The key element is yourself, in my eyes. You don't need all of these equipments. You know, you need yourself to be able to speak and to be able to communicate spirits. I mean, all you need is basically a camera and a recorder. That's basically all you need for a starter.
I love it. What's the most haunted location you've ever been to?
The most haunted location I've ever been to is the St. Augustine Lighthouse. Hands down, it's probably one of the most active places I've been. There's so many legends and folklore behind that, and the rich history that, you know, the Spanish there, and you know, in the past, it's one of the best locations I've ever had the privilege to investigate.
That's awesome. Now, you know, a lot of people like to put, you know, what an item's really worth. So if you had to put a real price tag on an item, how much is Boo Buddy actually worth?
Boo Buddy is worth nothing unless people want to buy it. You know, Boo Buddy is worth everything to me, but it's the people that have that means what Boo Buddy means, what the price point is, man. I'm gonna keep it as low as possible. Everybody that can buy it, if not, go with Scare Bear.
I love it. Now this is a great question because you love the culinary arts. What's your favorite pre-investigation meal?
Pre-investigation meal, man. I tell you what, I go in with an empty stomach, man, because it's got to be all. You got to have all your senses going, and if you're going in there with a full stomach, to me, you're not gonna, perform at your peak.
I love it. Why are trigger objects so impactful in the paranormal field?
Well, whether it be a spirit that you're investigating from the 1800s and you're just using, like we went to the Walking Dead uh, film location in Grantsville, Georgia, and we investigation there. And, it was a brothel back in the day. And we were doing an SB7 spirit box session and anybody want to play poker? Straight up, we got, yep.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
it could be anything. Poker chips, anything, man. Anything a spirit can relate to or that is related to their time period, that's a trigger object.
Love it. So, besides your equipment and besides your senses, what's your favorite piece of paranormal equipment?
I have to say, man, I love the Ovilus. That's one of my favorite pieces of equipment. You get a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? You get a lot of responses that aren't, relevant, but it's your own. Is when you're asking the questions and you see all the responses that come through. It's up to where you can put it together and figure out what the spirit's trying to tell you.
Yeah, I love that. I really do. If nothing really happens during an investigation, does that necessarily mean that the location is haunted or not haunted?
Absolutely not. Spirits are not on our time, man. They are, whether they're there and they don't feel like interacting, or they're just like we. My girlfriend has a theory about the hospital we love. We go during the night, and one investigation that we had was no activity at all. We had a hit here and there, but most of those spirits, like she says, they're probably sleeping. They're stuck in a time lapse.
I love it. So what's the most expensive paranormal item that you think is actually accurately priced?
I would have to say the Mel meters are probably one of the best pieces of equipment. I own myself. I love it. It's a REM pod. It changes. It detects the shadows that pop by. You're able to put out and just leave it. And it's one of those REM pods that you have to actually grab the end to get it to go off. So to me, it's like one of the more accurate ones, and the functionality between the different things that it can read and data it produces, it's just one of my most, it's probably the thing that I carry on my side if I'm just going out.
I love it. What's a dream piece of equipment you haven't worked on yet, but you always wanted to one day?
So my dream piece of equipment is want to create it was featured on one of Nick Groff's it's like a shadow detector. We were able to see it at the hospital, and it's astounding because you hand across, and she had the panels set up. They're so hard to put together. This company is so booked on their shadow detector, and you wave your hand across, and it's just like a starry night. You wave your hand across, you're able to see the path of this shadow or the spirit or whatever is going across it. I mean, it's just probably one of the coolest things I've ever seen demonstrated. I never saw it before, besides 2 weeks ago, and I would love to create something like that. I mean, that's just, but a simpler version, something a little handheld that we could use and keep in our bags, but not have to put like 30 panels, which is, what this example we had at the hospital was, huge panels, probably like, at least 2 by 2 each panel. And the soldering, it took, I think one panel took about 4 to do. So I mean, it was just, if you guys get a chance to look at the episode or look it up, I mean, it's an amazing piece of equipment.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to. Speaking of like significant items, what's the most significant item on that shelf behind you?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Yeah, what is the most significant item on that shelf behind you?
On that shelf behind me, man, I'm gonna tell you what, that shirt right there is a testament of that is starting from, I kid you not, 2 tables. I was to where I was having my blackout episodes, and when I was telling you guys I was building my first REM pod,
Yeah.
tray tables set up next to my girlfriend while she was working, and one tray was my workstation. I had my soldering gun. I had, all my equipment on the floor with, my toolbox. As soon as business started popping, one turned into 2, and then 3 tray tables. And I kid you not, here, see me, I had 4 tray tables set up with lights, clamp lights, my REM pods, and then this desk that the computer's on right now with a printer. And finally, I just splurged and, got the table behind me, got another computer, and it's just that shirt right there is just a testament to, all the work that's been put into this, and a dream come true, man. I love what I do. I love cooking, but I love this.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way it should be, Josh. When you're on an investigation, how can you tell the difference between a human spirit and an inhuman spirit?
Well, I don't know. Everybody's got different beliefs. I have my own. I don't dabble the darker side of paranormal investigation. It's just a personal choice. I do not mess with weeds. I don't deal with seances. The most I'll dabble in is they have different tarot cards. They have the light and the dark, and some of the light I do mess with, and I get readings. We have a wonderful lady that is very gifted. She deals light, and my team's the same way. They don't dabble in the dark arts. We have one person, and he's fantastic at what he does. And he's there to separate fact from fiction and provide a different sense of reality and how we investigate. He puts his perspective in, and we do our perspective. And he deals with a lot with the crypt and and dealing with the black magic spells and the conjuring. That's something I won't mess with, because there's attachments that you can get, man, and it's serious. And having an attachment is something you don't want to mess with. And to me, that's a significant part of how I investigate. And if it's called for, and cases that are when we go out and see if legitimate people help and they're really dealing with a demonic entity, then we're going to bring him back up. We're not going in by ourselves, but there's always a way to prepare ourselves spiritually when we go into those type of locations. Everybody's got a different way of preparing themselves. And before I even step foot back on my own property or in my own car, to me, you have kid spirits and you have some spirits, but demons or dark entities, they can disguise themselves as anything. So you really have to be careful in what you're messing with. You really do.
In my experience, when you're dealing with a dark entity, they don't want you to know what they are.
Exactly. And in my experience, and just in studying, a lot of children you got to be with. People think that the children are interacting with you, but you got to be real careful with that. And you'll know when you're dealing with a child that's a dark entity.
Gotcha. And if you weren't building paranormal equipment, what would you be creating? Like if you couldn't build paranormal equipment, what would you be building?
You know what, man? I would be sitting here on my butt, probably collecting unemployment. But that's not how I roll. I'm a hustler, man. If I'm not gonna be making, I'll tell you one real quick example. Pandemic. I was injured, walking with a cane, back brace. With my connection kitchen, I was able to have access to PPE and a lot of disinfectant. And I had my own flea at the time, and I was considered an essential retailer. And that's where my other company comes from. My first company was called Attic Antiques and Unique Supplies. So I was able to provide affordable PPE and disinfectants and cleaners to people that were in need. But there was a lot of taking advantage of people during that whole pandemic. There was essential retailers right down a couple booths that were selling cans of Lysol for $15-16, man. You guys are just horrible people, man. Can't believe people would do that to each other in a time of need where everybody should be united.
Right.
So just to put it into sense, man, I've always been a hustler. I'm always going to do something, and I'm not going back to work for America. I'm working for myself, and I'm working for people, not boss, man. I'm going to help people.
Yeah, and this is number 13. What's one message you have for the paranormal community?
One message that I have, man, is be true to yourself. Be careful what you do, and whether you choose to go with the high-end equipment or you choose to go with people that provide affordable equipment. Just be true to yourself. Don't fake it to make it. And like a lot of these paranormal shows do, we're not running on a script, man. These spirits are here for a reason, and we're all seeking the same answer: what lies beyond this life, man. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, I have a feeling, you know, that with our intentions, those spirits can feel that, and they, if you're a genuine person, and I feel that the interaction has to do with the way you carry is the way that the spirit's going to interact with you. I mean, it's just like how we're speaking to each other right now. It's the same way I speak. You know, just because they're dead doesn't mean they don't want to be speaking to like a normal person. So that's my advice, is just be true to yourself and be true to these spirits, man. They're caught in a time lapse, or for unfinished business, or it's a stone tape theory, you know, whatever it may be. You know, just have respect for this kind of work.
I love it, Josh.
All right.
You are awesome. Yeah, that was a great segment.
Thank
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, man.
Definitely.
I think when people rewatch this and they go back to those questions, they're gonna find a lot of value in it because you
Definitely.
speak from the heart. So
Definitely. Good
I
job,
hope so,
man.
man. I
Killed
mean,
it.
that, you know, yeah, I appreciate it.
No problem.
And you know,
Is
that's truly how I
Allison-
feel, you know, and that is
Allison,
her.
she's that's her. All right. That's awesome. So she's adding her 2
She
cents
said,
now. She said, and there are wire pieces all over my floor for a month. So this was from about 9. This is talking about when you were learning
she's
to
great,
build.
man. I mean, I couldn't ask for a better partner.
That's awesome. That's
She's
awesome
a
to have somebody
fantastic
like that.
school teacher. She teaches special ed, and she
Oh, wow.
has the patience of a saint.
wow.
So,
It's awesome.
but what do you say
guy needs-
we give these people the little sneak peek,
Uh-oh.
man?
Oh, you're ready for that, huh? All right.
This is not the full product. I'm gonna say the second half of the product and the functionality is gonna be a complete secret. But here is I put up the logos. Everybody chose the logo, and you guys take it away, man. This is the new one.
Is it. This is the new one. It's the Scare Bear.
Ooh.
Look at him, and he looks so smiled. So you're not going to tell us what he does? You're just like, oh,
Nope.
just another trigger there object. Okay. Keep us wondering.
Hey, he's gonna be more
need
than
to
that,
know.
my friend. He's gonna be a special one. Yeah, I got a brand new board that's gonna be put in him with 2 different functionalities. So it's gonna be almost a 3-in-1. So I'm very excited. We're looking at about another month.
Okay.
So you guys keep on the lookout. Like I said, keep your eye on the horizon, man.
Nice.
It's coming.
He'll be able to talk. He can help you during EVP sessions. I understand where you're going with this, Josh.
Will he dispense G Fuel? We need caffeinated beverages to be in abundance.
Hey, you might be able to hook you up.
I'm joking, man. So hey, man, do you have any events, anything where people can find you? I don't know, anything that you want to plug right now?
Yeah, we have a lot of there's a lot that goes into trying to build up this business, and we did launch a Kickstarter campaign, and it's been unsuccessful, but nevertheless, the links are all over my website, or excuse me, all over Facebook. So I've been trying to promote, if people see it out of the genuine of their heart to help out, we got about 18 days left, and sad to say, man, nobody sees the vision of Scare Bear, you know. But it's not only just for Scare Bear, but it's for Addict Junkie to continue to climb. You know, I started this company with just barely pennies, and you know, as everybody knows, you got to keep dumping money into a business to be able to grow it. And I don't want to sell out. I want to be the people's company, you know, and I want, you know, people to help out when they can. And if you can't help, share. We have like probably less than 18 days left, and we have not even touched our goal. We're at 0%, which I'm quite sad about. You know, I thought there was going to be more of an outreach, but you know, if there's not, we're going to continue to persevere. You know, I mean, the new Scare Bear just came straight out of you know, of hard work and dedication towards my company, and we're going to continue whether we get the Kickstarter campaign success or not. So, you know, that's one thing I want to shout out. And another shout out is just to you guys and to everybody watching. Thank you. And to all my customers, I appreciate all the continued support. Thanks, and be on the lookout for the new website. It's coming by the end of the week.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Now, real quick, I know we're over in time right now, but
hey, I love it. Let's go. Keep going.
I pulled up I put the link up for your Kickstarter Kickstarter link, and I pulled up the Kickstarter page here, and I think this is it here. There's a video.
Yep.
Can we play the video?
Is.
I don't know what's on it. Can we play it?
Yeah. So basically, that's the evolution of, you know, Scare Bear. You know, I mean, from where he came from to where he is now, and you know, we've hit the video, man. I mean, you know, it's honest and true. You know, I mean, to source these materials and everything. I mean, it's a hard thing, you know, because I don't want to be able to do this in China. I want everything to be made here in the U.S. You know, I mean, yes, I do get my parts from China like everybody does, but I'm proud to say that I make everything here in America, you know, and that's the most important thing right now, is to be able to support our economy. And, you know, I try as much as I can to buy everything that is reasonable here in the U.S. But of course, you know, we do have to reach out to different places because it is cheaper, and to be able to provide, you know, affordable products for everybody, you know, I have to, you know, buy in massive amounts of quantity. And as you guys probably know, I mean, it's not cheap.
Yeah.
You know, there's a detailed guidelines on, if anybody wants to read it, you know, there's detailed guidelines on the business plan and what the money is going for. And there's even a tier of prizes you guys get for different pledges, you know, so
Nice.
we're going to hope it's going to be a success. But if not, like I said, we're going to keep pushing on. I mean, we've made it this far, and we're going to continue going on and make it with or without this.
Nice. That's awesome, man. I'm going to play this video. Just real quick. I don't know how Kickstarter works. Does Kickstarter have like a certain amount of time, or is it like Patreon where you can kind of go in and do it at any time? How does Kickstarter work?
So basically, so Kickstarter works as a platform to be able to help people fund a project. You know, Scare Bear is the project, you know, to be able to start developing him more. I want to start integrating more technology into him. You know, I'll just give you guys just a heads up. The technology that's going to be put into this new bear is right over a minimum of 200 units that I have to order, and it's costing me out of my pocket close to almost $4,000 for everything, and I haven't even sold any yet. So this is a big chance for me, and I'm taking a big risk in doing this, but money that we could raise could further the technology in Scare Bear, because I don't know everything, and I'm a chef, and every step that I've taken in this company has been from learning and watching, YouTube and how to do things and how to make certain equipment, and it's been through trial and error, and I want to keep innovating, and in order to do that, I mean, it's going to be, I need help from people,
Right.
and not only just help from money, but just continued support like everybody's been doing, man. Everybody's been awesome, man. I had a record breaking weekend with the sale that went on this past weekend, and it's continuing till the end of May 8th, or excuse me, the first weekend. I've extended it until until the last weekend of May. So
Okay.
everybody's going to be able to get the same prices they did last weekend throughout the rest of the month, So
Nice.
like I said, with or without this, we're going to keep on going.
Nice. Well, here, let's check out this video real quick.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean,
I have no sound.
yeah, it's
I have
just,
no sound.
basically how it started, and, the massive amount of work it takes for me to put this bear together.
Is there supposed to be sound with this video, or?
No, there's no sound on this.
Oh, okay.
Actually we had huge trial and errors through Kickstarter. They're very particular on who they let do the campaign, and it took us probably about 5 weeks of revising and rewording to get them to accept our campaign. And at first I had a video of me explaining what the company was about and how it started, but they didn't find it acceptable. And I thought it was weird, because you look at some of the other campaigns that have been on here, it's some of the campaigns are just ridiculous, and this one was a genuine straight from the heart, to be able to continue providing affordable equipment to people that don't want to spend $200 on a REM pod, or so on and so forth. So this is what it ended up being, and I think if we were able to keep the original Kickstarter that we had, we probably would have been more successful with the video of me, but they didn't want to take it, so we just adhered by their guidelines, and Allison was able to help me, finally narrow it down to where they finally accepted us, and we launched a 30-day campaign, which was the minimum. And we weren't asking for a crazy amount. I'm not going to name any names, but there's another REM pod out there, brand new to the field. The guy's asking for $183,000 for one REM pod, and developing his technology.
Wow.
And he charges almost $200 for the REM pod, and all it is a REM pod that looks like to me it looks like a fire alarm, but it doesn't have an antenna, and that's his innovation. So I would encourage anybody to look at the different paranormal projects that have gone on here, and just to see, you know, like how hard it is to get on here. And some of the projects that got put on here that they let pass is just mind blowing. And when we tried to do it really from the heart, they didn't accept that. So we had to go with this route. And I just feel like maybe people didn't get it because they would think it was a scam. You know, I've gotten replies on Facebook, you know, you're a scam, you know, scammer, you know, he's just going to take your money and run. No, that's not it. You know, we're asking for help. We don't want to.
One thing I do know about Kickstarter is if you don't hit your goal, all the money gets returned to the people that offered to help. So,
you know, so we're not trying to take anybody's money.
Right.
It is. And you know, we have the different tiers of prizes that people get when they pledge that certain amount. You know, I think the first one's $25 and you get 5 ghost nuts, and then the second tier goes up to I think it's $65 and you get ghost nuts and like a K2 meter, and then it just goes up higher. And then the final tier is like $250 pledge where you get a Scare Bear prize pack, and you're gonna get the whole kit and caboodle. And you're gonna get Scare Bear, you're gonna get a K2 meter, you're gonna get a REM pod, and you're gonna get a pack of ghost nuts. So I mean, and that's a lot of work on my end because the way Kickstarter works is you have first tier is like 100 pledges, and that's 100 ghost nuts you got to send out. Next tier is like 100 K2s and ghost nuts. Third tier, you know, and then it drops down to like 50, and then the $250 pledge, which is Scare Bear prize pack, is I think it's 35 slots that people can do it, but that's going to be 35 people that I'm going to deliver Scare Bears to because of their pledge, you know, and that's above a retail value of $250. But you know, like I said, we're going to persevere anyways, you know, and I appreciate you guys letting me share that.
Oh, no problem. This is exactly why I started a podcast, and this is why the podcast continues to do well, is because we want to bring people like you into the light of the field, because it takes a lot of hard work, and you put a lot of hard work into your product, and then after you put in your hard work, the work doesn't stop because you have to promote the product. You got to get the product out there, and that can be expensive too. And we are just a fun way to get your product out there, get your name out there, and all it costs you is a little bit of your time, and hopefully you have a fun time doing that. So we appreciate you coming on.
A blast.
Yeah. Hey, Josh.
It's been a blast. And go ahead, bro.
Yeah. I got one last segment here for you, but it's got to be super quick. All right, my friend?
All right, let's go.
Listen, it's paranormal over under. Now, this is the segment where you have to tell me if it's overrated, underrated, or properly rated, but you only have one sentence response afterwards to tell us why. You ready?
Okay. Can you give me like an example real quick?
Sure. Orbs, are they overrated, underrated, proper rated? Most people say they're overrated because they could be bugs and whatnot. That's one sentence. You ready?
Got it. Let's go.
Number 1, Scare Bears.
Yep. Scare Bears, highly rated. REM pod, trigger object, all in one.
Gotcha. Paradrama.
Ooh.
Paranormal drama, I think it's horrible because people are faking it to make it, like on these shows. Zach Bagans screams like a little girl every time he sees a spirit. So paranormal drama is out in my book.
Music boxes.
Music boxes, I'm coming out with one. They're great. Just like he said, sensitivity, you got to control it. Can't go through walls. So let's just make them, rational. Let's set a distance to where it's not going through walls and basements.
Branded paranormal equipment that costs over $500.
Very overrated. Ridiculous. Just people trying to take advantage of the situation.
REM pods.
They are very, very reliable. I highly recommend them, as I make them myself.
Yeah. How about debunking?
Debunking, important, very important, because there can always be outside contaminants, like dust orbs, like you said. I believe that some dust orbs do get debunked, and some orbs are real. I have pictures of orbs like this big. Explain that as a piece of dust.
Mm-hmm. SB7 Spirit Box.
Great tool, great for beginners. Just make sure that you're able to distinguish and go through on a computer program to make sure that you can analyze the wavelengths and the sweep time, and you're able to catch your spirit voice.
Protection prayers on investigations.
Highly recommended. Just depends on what religion you are. It's good, especially if you're going into a situation that deals with dark forces. And that goes the same thing afterwards. You don't want anything coming home with you.
Boo Buddy.
Trash.
Paranormal TV shows. This is number 10.
Paranormal TV shows, I'm a fan of. Most of them I prefer earlier, but nowadays they're very overrated.
There you go. That was Paranormal Overrated, Underrated with Josh here. What else do we have, Shawn? I know we're cutting.
That's it, man. We are over by 20 minutes.
So we appreciate you.
No, Josh, man, thank you so much for coming on tonight. Definitely wish you the very best. Guys, check out the Attic Junkie Paranormal. It's Attic Junkie Paranormal Equipment, right? Go and check them out, guys. They're on Facebook. They're on eBay. They're the new website. We have the link here at the beginning of the comments. That link is it's www.junkieparanormal.com. Guys, go and check it out. At the end of the week, you can start purchasing from the website, not just from eBay. Man, he posts this stuff on the. I found him honestly on the Facebook. What is it called when shopping on Facebook? The marketplace. That's where I found him. And so, guys, I mean, that's to find the newest, greatest equipment, man. You know, this is where the up and coming is. Joshua, man, you're definitely up and coming, and hopefully, you just keep on growing. I look forward to hopefully seeing you at some Paracons, pushing that product. I look forward to seeing you and watching you grow, man. If you ever want to come back on when that new Scare Bear comes out and you want to push that, please hit me up. I'll get you on, and we will show everybody what the new line does. If you ever want to, man, even if you just want to come on and say, hey, you know, I could really like to come on the show and push my products. Just let us know, man. Anytime, you're welcome. We had a great time. We definitely have a lot more to learn from each other.
You're the best, Josh.
Awesome.
And everybody.
Shawn Bryan.
Everybody.
Appreciate it, man. Everybody watching, thank you. All my supporters, thank you. And I appreciate everything, man. You guys rock. Keep on doing what you're doing, man. And I appreciate the support.
Oh, most definitely. Definitely. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope we helped you guys over this hump day, this wonderful Wednesday. I hope we helped you slide on into the weekend. And you guys have a great rest of your week. And we will see you all next week. Next week, actually, real quick, we have a really cool guest next week. I know Brian doesn't follow the calendar, but next week is, wow, are we ready on April 28th? Yeah, that's Hinsdale. That's right. It is. We were just there on Saturday. So, wow, we're already at the end of the month. We have Tim Molly coming on. We have more paranormal talks with him. He's got a really cool thing that he does where he helps animals and things like that. We're going to get more into that, guys. But we are way over on time, so we need to cut this to the end. Everyone, have
Hey,
a
Shawn.
great one. Yeah. What's up?
Hey, real quick, man. Can I get a shout out real quick?
Go for it, brother.
Hey, man, I want to thank Paraflix for helping me grow up and coming, man. And a special thanks to Brandon Crotty for Paranormal in the Funhouse and Fun Uniform for showing me on Paraflix and using Scare Bear and repping me all the way. I appreciate it, man. And thank you to all the supporters. Shawn Bryan, you guys are awesome. And I appreciate everything. Thanks for letting me be on.
Of course, Josh. You're awesome, too.
Anytime, man. Definitely. All right, everybody. You all have a great one.
Night, everyone.
Good.
This paranormal adventure that we're all on, it connects us. This is our paranormal community. This is our paranormal podcast with your host, Sean Gilmore.
He's worked in the paranormal field for 10 years.
He was featured on the TV show Paranormal Survivor that airs on Travel Channel.
His passion is creating para-unity.
With your host, Brian Mursell.
He's worked in the paranormal field for 7 years.
He leads his own paranormal team.
He wants to help people start their paranormal adventure or grow their existing one. This is our paranormal adventure. This is our paranormal community. This is our paranormal podcast.
It's about supporting. It's about making para-unity a real thing, because we all need to support each other within our community. And that's what the show has always been about.